Hello everyone, this is HammerTron here, but I do not have an action figure review for you. This video goes up on Friday, September 30th. This is before the Hasbro Pulse Con, which is scheduled for Friday, September 30th and October 1st of 2022. I'm just making a few comments before the Hasbro Pulse Con. Here I'm talking about the different products that they say they're going to be talking about. That would be Avalon Hill, Starting Lineup, Nerf, Magic the Gathering, Transformers, Marvel Legends, Dungeons and Dragons, Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and Fortnite Victory Royale. These are the things they have advertised that they're talking about. The Hasbro Pulse Con is basically an advertisement for upcoming products. So I'm just making a few comments about it because obviously I am a fan of some of these things. These are pictures of some action figures and mostly DVDs from the movies and cartoons and TV shows. So I do enjoy these properties, and I do like some of the action figures. Some of these things that I've written down here, I don't have anything from it, but I'm still making a comment based on what the Hasbro Pulse Con will be covering. So I don't have very much to say about Nerf, although according to the Hasbro Pulse webpage, they have some new Nerf toys based on the Star Trek phasers. Personally, I'd rather have a Star Trek action figure at 6-inch scale. So we'll see if that happens sometime in the future. But beyond that, I don't have any other comments about Nerf. With Star Wars, the latest movies and TV shows have just not been very good. But I still enjoy the original series, and I always enjoy stormtroopers and droids and some aliens and some of the spaceships. So I do enjoy getting some more of those. I just hope that they will be good quality and not too expensive, but it depends on how bad the stories are. If the stories are really bad, I just won't even bother with the droids or aliens. So we'll see what they announce. I think Avalon Hill covers some games. One of their games is Hero Quest. That looks interesting, but at the moment I'm just not really interested in the games. I would prefer some action figures based on some of the characters that they seem to have. So I don't have any other comments about Avalon Hill at the moment. For Indiana Jones, I've seen the first 4 movies. I'm not hearing good things about the 5th movie, so I probably won't even bother watching that one. I would be happy to see some action figures from Indiana Jones based on at least the first 3, maybe the first 4 movies. I'd like both 6-inch scale and 4-inch scale. I'd also like to see some vehicles, but I really don't want very high prices for those because it just doesn't seem reasonable. So I don't think they can get very many characters, which is okay. I don't need a whole lot of characters, just a few of the main ones. And these action figures at either scale, 4-inch scale or 6-inch scale, they'll fit in nicely with some of the other action figure lines and displays. So we'll see what they announce at this Hasbro Pulse Con. Starting lineup looks like a series of action figures based on real-world athletes, and I'm just not a sports fan, and out of all the sports, basketball is actually my least favorite out of all the sports, and that's the first series of starting lineup action figures, so I already was not really interested in it anyway. And then I saw the price of $49.99 for each individual action figure, even though they're maybe 6 or 7 inches tall, with only an extra set of hands and a figure stand. That's just way too much for an action figure, so there's just no way I'm getting a single starting lineup action figure. Here's a Fortnite Victory Royale action figure by Hasbro. I happen to already have this one, and it has a small window. I'm just not too happy about it. And it looks like future packaging is just not going to have even a plastic window, so I'm even less excited about it. So we'll see if they make anything really interesting or have any interesting announcements with future action figures from this line. I do like the character designs, but the packaging just bothers me, and with increasing prices and everything else, they have to have something really interesting to get me motivated to buy one. So we will see what they announce during this Hasbro Pulse Con. We'll see what kind of announcements they have for Transformer toys. I do like the original Transformers. The new ones, I think, do look better. They look more like the cartoon characters with better articulation and better designs. Way different from what they had in the 80s. But nowadays, the movies and cartoons they're coming out with nowadays are just not all that exciting. So we'll see if they make any new toys that look really interesting. I would like to collect the G.I. Joe line, however, it's been ridiculously difficult to even find, and there are too many exclusives that sell out way too quickly, and then too many limited production runs like the planned Serpentor and Chariot, and there's just no reason for that. Every collector that wants to get one should be able to get one with no trouble without having to deal with extremely high prices through scalpers. So it just doesn't make any sense to be limiting the availability of something that people clearly want. The His Tank HasLab I thought was just way too expensive. $300 for a His Tank and maybe 5 action figures. Not all of that together should have been less than $100 at the very most. So I think Hasbro is just trying to destroy this particular brand. I'm just very disappointed about it. But we'll see what they announce, if they announce anything really exciting. With the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, I'm enjoying that line of action figures. And I've only seen the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series. I've seen the entire series. And I will be watching the other series in order. What I'd like to see are more monsters from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Plus, I think there are lots of monsters in the other seasons of Power Rangers, so I hope they expand into those other monsters and maybe get a few of the small vehicles. They're already making some small motorcycles. Maybe some other small vehicles would be a nice addition to any collection or display. So hopefully more monsters, because those are fun. This is a visual aid for this section here, this Marvel Legends action figure package. I do enjoy the Marvel Legends action figures because I really enjoyed the comic books. I don't really care about the movies so much, especially the most recent ones. They just haven't been very good at all. And the HasLab Engine of Vengeance, that 6-inch scale vehicle is nice, but the price was just way too high, considering you can get other vehicles of about the same size, maybe not quite as many details, but about the same size for about the price of an actual action figure. You know, some Barbie vehicles are as cheap as about $20. Then you have other vehicles going up to maybe $50 or even $100 with all the electronics. So the price was just too much. There's just no way I'm ever going to pay anywhere near that much. And in the future, I do hope they make some 6-inch scale vehicles, and the quality still needs to be pretty high, but the price is just going to have to be a whole lot lower before I ever consider it. Magic the Gathering is a card game. I just never got interested in the card game. Personally, I prefer novels or movies or cartoons or action figures with a fantasy theme. So unless they're talking about action figures, I'm just not interested in Magic the Gathering. Here is the series of action figures I'm most looking forward to. The action figures based on Dungeons and Dragons. This is a box set of the original Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. I really enjoyed it, and during the 1980s they never made action figures based out of these characters, so now after what, 30, almost 40 years now, they're finally making action figures. And if we look here, this is Venger, and I've seen pictures of the action figure, and based on the design, I'm not too surprised that it is basically a cone. Not much they could do about that, maybe. And the others look kind of cartoony, but it is based on the cartoon series, so I'll have to take a look. I'm just not happy about the windowless boxes that we can see in the pre-order pictures, so that's what's really holding me up. Well, that and the high price, so we'll see how that works out. Last year at Hasbro, they did announce an action figure, and oops, there we go. And it's the only thing I've ever pre-ordered, and this is Forgotten Realms Drizzt and Guinevere. So I haven't opened this up or reviewed it yet, but I made sure to get it because I do enjoy Dungeons and Dragons. I don't play the role-playing games, but I really like the novels and the cartoon. So I'm really looking forward to this, and just to show what a fan I am, here is the first one. No, here is the first one. The Dragonlance novel, Dragons of Autumn Twilight, probably one of my favorite books, and I'm really looking forward to action figures based on this. There's cover art, the original cover art by Larry Elmore. I would like them to use these character designs in making the action figures. All the other book covers have other characters, so I think this would be ideal. Now there are hundreds of these, specifically Dragonlance books, so that would easily be hundreds of characters they can make action figures out of. Not only that, they have Forgotten Realms. This is a copy of the first Forgotten Realms novel published, Darkwalker on Moonshae. This does not have Drizzt in it. Drizzt was in the second one called A Crystal Shard, but still there are hundreds of these novels, so easily hundreds of characters and monsters they can make action figures out of, so I hope they do that. And just another one, this one is a more recent novel, a Greyhawk novel, Against the Giants. So lots and lots of characters in this. There were only about 7 novels in this particular series, but still I enjoy the fantasy series, so I hope they make action figures based on these characters, because Hasbro bought Wizards of the Coast, which owns Dungeons and Dragons. I think that was more than 10 years ago, and back then I thought, wow, we'll finally have decent action figures, and it took more than 10 years. I don't know what took them so long. So hopefully we'll have some good announcements. I still want window boxes so I can see what I'm actually buying, and of course I certainly hope for lower prices, but maybe that's unrealistic. We will see. Thank you for watching my video with my comments before the Hasbro Pulse Con. I might make a follow-up video with my comments after the reveals from the Hasbro Pulse Con. That video will most likely go up on a Monday. So we will see if they have any really big surprises. So thank you for watching my video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews of action figures, and also some of my commentary about the companies and the franchises that these action figures are from. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.